Hey guys, my name is Ace, as you can tell by the username, and in my first video I told y'all that I was going to be making a video later on about how I met my best friends. Well, this is that video. So as I said in my first video, I do have three best friends, Ryan, Megan, and Issa. And I met them all within, I believe, the same year. Same year and a half, I guess. But we're gonna go most recent best friend to best friend. So we're gonna go Megan, Ryan, Issa. And this is just how I met them. So starting with Megan, a lot of people think that this is really weird that we're friends, but I dated her brother. Her brother is my age. She's three grade levels behind. Yeah, she's 3 grade levels behind me, so she is a sophomore this year. And I dated her brother for a few months, and I would be at their house a lot during winter break. So, you know, I ended up meeting her. I didn't really talk to her while we were dating and whatever, and then once we broke up, like, I didn't have any contact with her. Even though, like, she's a really chill person. She's really cool, you know. I didn't have anything against her at all. And then she came to my school. And I knew she was going to my school because her brother had told me while we were still dating. And I was really nervous about that because he had also told me that she was going to be in sports medicine, which was one of my electives, and it's only one class period per day of sports medicine, so we would have the same class. And so I was really nervous about that because I was like, oh my gosh, like, she's gonna keep pestering me about, like, why we broke up, because I had given my ex an answer, but he wasn't happy with the answer, so he kept pestering me about the answer until I blocked him, and I was scared that he was going to have her pester me for the answer. And so I was really nervous about that. So I wasn't there during the first week of training because I was out of state. And then I came back and she was there and she didn't question it. She didn't ask me anything. She didn't, you know, she was the only incoming freshman that I did know. So I kind of used that to lean into meeting the other freshmen, because how we're supposed to do it is the seniors are supposed to, like, be the mentors of the freshmen. It didn't always work like that. I promise that that's not how it worked, but that's how it was supposed to work. So I was talking to her and I became friends with her and the other freshmen as well. And I kind of let my guard down with her because she didn't ask. And then eventually she did ask, and I told her why, and it wasn't the exact reason that I gave her brother, but it was the real reason. And she was like, oh, okay, all right. And she didn't like automatically go and tell her brother. She didn't like turn around and be like, this is why. So I gained some respect for her for that. And then she accidentally let it slip one time while she was with him. And he got really mad at that. And then he made a threat towards me. And she came and she told me. And so I was like, all right, this girl, real friend, is she true? So I was like, this is someone that I can keep in my life. This is someone who, if something happened, then I would be able to, like, go to her and I would be able to talk to her. And we've been friends for a little bit more than a year now. And we also have, like, shoes that match, and, like, they're not, like, the same shoe for us. You can custom order Vans, And so she has a pair of Vans with my face on them, and I have a pair of Vans with her face on them. And she wore them to school, and a lot of people who still go to school that are friends with me sent me like pictures and were like, "Oh my gosh, you're back at school!" And it's fantastic. I wear my shoes of her pretty often, and my mom thinks that it was a waste of money, but it's great. We're friend goals, okay? Calm down. Best friends wear each other on their feet. So yeah, I haven't seen her in a few weeks. We're trying to schedule a time that we can hang out. I hope that I get to see her soon because I really miss her. But yeah, that's how I met Megan. That was my path with Megan. So for Ryan, he is the only guy best friend in this video. And so how I met Ryan is he's actually 2 years older than me. But I was in FFA at my school. If you don't know what that is, that's Future Farmers of America. It is an agricultural-based program in high schools. And so I was in FFA, and so I was in an ag class. He wasn't actually in FFA, he was just in the classes because he needed electoral credits. And he was a senior that year. I was a sophomore. And he sat with my only other 2 senior friends in that class. And he was really intimidating. Like, he has resting bitch face, like, to the extreme. And I was, like, honestly really scared to, like, go over there and, like, talk to him or anything. And so the whole first semester, I didn't talk to him. I didn't go over there because I had, like, my little friend group over on this side of the classroom. And him and my other 2 friends were, like, over on this side of the classroom. And so, like, I didn't really go over there and talk to him because I was intimidated. And I've told him this story like 3 times and he keeps forgetting it, but it's so funny to me because his reaction is always like, "But I'm a nice person." And I'm like, "Ryan, no you're not." But he sat there like the entire year. And then at the semester, pretty much all of my friend group got transferred over to the other class period that had that class. And so, like, all of my friends left. And so I was talking to my 2 senior friends one day when Ryan was late. And so I was sitting in Ryan's desk because we didn't have assigned seats. We just got to choose where we sat. And so I was sitting in Ryan's desk talking to them. And he came in and I was, like, getting my stuff, like, to go sit somewhere else. And he just, like, pulled up a chair and sat at the desk next to the desk that he was at. Because there was someone sitting there. It was, like, the conjoined desk and chair. But he grabbed a chair and he sat, like, in front of it so that he could have the desk as well as the other person. And, like, he was friends with him, so it's okay. It wasn't, like, some awkward, like, he was stealing the desk or anything. But I was like, "I can move if you want." He was like, "It's fine." But, like, the class period that we had together was wildlife. And so in wildlife, you learn, like, how to shoot a bow and arrow, how to shoot a gun, how to do this, do that. Basically, it's how to live in the forest, kind of, but, like, how to hunt as well. And so we didn't get to shoot a gun. It just said, like, this is the parts of the gun. This is how you hold the gun. This is, like, you know. But we did get to shoot bows and arrows. And so they marked off part of the parking lot, and we put up our targets. Couldn't think of the words. We put up our targets, we got our bows and our arrows out there, and we started, like, our teacher, like, he went through how to shoot a bow and arrow, how to position yourself, how to stand yourself and everything. And so we were, like, out there, and I was talking to my 2 friends, and he came up, and I was like, "You have really pretty eyes." Because he does. Like, he has really beautiful eyes. And he was like, "Thanks." And then it got to the point where we were, like, cracking jokes about how bad of an archer I was. And he was like, "I feel like you're gonna, like, pull back, and then you're gonna hear someone say something and you're gonna be like, what? And I was like, I'm gonna do it right at your face. And he was like, nope, I'm going with you. I'm not gonna stand back here while you have a bow in your hand. Because he actually thought that I was gonna like turn around and like shoot at him. But we got to terms to where all four of us that were in that small group had each other's numbers, and we would like text each other randomly like during class, especially if we had a sub. We would like text each other while we had a sub, and we'd be like, this stupid sub, like this bitch ass sub. And it got to the point where Ryan and I would like send each other pictures of each other. Like I'd send him pictures of him and he'd send me pictures of me. And one time during lunch, I was sitting and he was like selling tickets to a film festival. And he sent me a picture of me and he was like, come buy a ticket. And I was like, that was the scariest text I've ever gotten from you. So he and I are really close friends now. He comes and like picks me up to go hang out or whatever, like occasionally. He's a full-time college student and full-time, he has a full-time job as well, so he doesn't have like that much time to hang out with me, but we like message each other sometimes and I'll tell him like really cheesy jokes and it's fantastic. So that's it on Ryan. So now it's time for my absolute best friend, Issa. As you saw in my vlog video, I got to go see Issa at college. And that is actually only the second time that I've ever seen Issa in person. So I met Issa in a group chat. It was a buddy project LGBT group chat on Kik. That's so lame. Kik. I'm so glad I didn't use Kik anyway. But it was a buddy project group chat on Kik, and the group chat before Issa came in was really like toxic, and like there were a lot of people who were only in there in spite of other people. Like there were people who knew that they didn't have friends in that group chat, but they stayed in because they hated that one person so much that they had to stay in just to mess with that person. And it was a very toxic group chat. I don't know why I stayed in it as long as I did. But for certain people, if you left the group chat, they would add you back randomly and start picking on you. And so I was in the group chat one time after they had added me back, and a few people all joined at once, Issa being one of them, and they came in like in the midst of everyone being like picked on and like, you know, bullied or whatever. And so Issa came in and was saying like, you don't need to be like acting like this is a buddy project group chat. And Issa was like, I know Gabby personally, and and how like Issa was saying everything was like, I'm above all of you because I know Gabby, because I know how buddy project's supposed to work. This isn't like get your shit together basically. And I was like, wow, Issa sounds like a little jackass. And so that group chat ended up splitting into two. And I think there were only 2 or 3 people who were in both of them because they were very liked by people. And so I was in the secondary group chat. And Issa ended up being put in the secondary group chat, even though they had just joined. And so I hadn't actually spoken one-on-one with Issa yet. But there was like flooding happening. There was really harsh rains happening in Texas at the time. And I said something about my sister's cow was on TV because the flooding was so bad at the barn. And I sent a video in the group chat, and everyone was like, "You have a cow?" And I was like, "Yes, I have a cow." And Issa was like really like shocked, and they were like, you're in Texas? And I was like, yeah. And then our first, like, one-on-one conversation was Issa had DM'd me after this one person had left the group chat. And Issa was like, hey, I'm checking in on him, but he sounds, like, really, like, suicidal and depressed. And I'm not trying to, like, talk down on anyone that is suicidal or depressed. So be wary of what I'm about to say. I told Issa, don't trust what he says. He's a very toxic asshole. And he will try and manipulate you just because you're trying to help him. Because the person, I'm not gonna name names, but the person that Issa was trying to help was very toxic, very manipulative, and was just all over a jackass. And how whoever it was would do it was he would be in the group chat and he'd be like, man, I really hate life, like, and he'd just, like, go on this, like, huge rant about how life sucked or whatever, and he'd leave the group chat because, like, no one was listening to him, and then he would DM you personally and be like, hey, will you help me? And then if you helped him, he would take advantage of you. He would do everything in his willpower to, like, screw you over, basically. He would take all your words and use them against you. He would twist your words. He would put words in your mouth, and he would just make you out to be the bad person. And so I was texting Issa. I was like, don't trust what he says. Don't try and make it better. It's not going to make it better. And I was like, it's just going to make it worse for you. And so that was our first one-on-one conversation. And I really sounded like a huge asshole when I was talking to them about it. But then we ended up being friends, and we've been friends for coming up on 3 years now. And so I'm really glad that Issa's in my life. The first time that, Issa is from around Houston, and I'm from around Dallas, which is like 600 something miles, which isn't as long as a lot of my other web friends, but it is a long way still, especially for Texas, because that's like an 8-hour drive. And so we kept trying to make plans of, like, hey, are you gonna be here? Are you gonna be around this place at this date? And we'd be like, yeah, we are. Like, yeah, I am. And, like, all of our plans always fell through until this past January. Issa came up to Dallas for a UTD tour, and I was able to spend a few hours with them at the mall by my house. And so I was really happy about that. I have so many pictures and videos and stuff. And then the last time that I got to see Issa was only the second time, as I said earlier. And I got to vlog that, and I'm really excited about that. Ow. And I've met all of Issa's family except for her oldest sister, and I'm super excited about that, and I'm super happy about that. And so I'm really happy about my best friends. I really love them so much. And my question to you is, who's your best friend and how did you meet them? I'm not going to bring up last week's question because I don't remember it right now, and I don't feel like looking it up right now. But I will look through those comments later, probably. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. I don't hope you're healthy. I hope you're healthy. And I hope you know I love you. Bye.